In the headlines, relatives of abducted train passengers protest in Abuja as ISWAP terror video ignites protest in Kaduna. Bandit attack in Abuja forces evacuation of students in community school. Blackout looms as electricity workers join NLC ASU protest. And on the foreign scene, Drupadi Murmu takes oath as India's first tribal president. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. The release of a video by terrorists flogging hostages of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack has sparked protest in Kaduna by angry youths. The angry youths who blocked Nnamdi Azikiwe Expressway, demanding the immediate action by government to rescue the remaining hostages of the train attack, say the lives of the hostages are in danger. The report.
The recent video in circulation showing the terrorists flogging their hostages sent fears to the minds of not just the relatives, but also angered the youth in Kaduna State. The protesting youth blocked Nnamdi Azikiwe Expressway to show their anger.
Yesterday, when I saw that video, I was shocked. We are in a state of coma when we had that shock news. For 125 days now, our people are under the captivities of kidnappers, and the government could not take an action.
Relatives of the victims also said despite effort to facilitate the rescue of their loved ones, the authority concerned restricted them.
Those that are holding our brothers and sisters and mothers and aunts, call us to come and pick some of the sick among us, and unfortunately, the organs of the government deny us the opportunity to get them back with us. It is quite touching. I couldn't believe it.
We are ready for any demand they will want from us. It's just that because we are being restricted by certain people, that is why we are calming things down.
Tukur Mamu was in the forefront of the negotiation with the terrorists, which led to the release of some. React to this video in circulation.
Killing of innocent victims, notwithstanding your religion, is not a problem to them. So, and that is why it surprises me when this kind of threats is being taken lightly by the federal government, because these are people that can inflict harm, that can kill at any slightest provocation. So why must we wait, for example, until when we started recording casualties?
It's over 3 months since the terrorists attacked Abuja-Kaduna train, killing some and abducting several others. While others were released, several others are still held captives.
Similarly, families of victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack are calling on government to negotiate with the terrorists keeping their relatives in captivity. They made the call on Monday at the Ministry of Transportation in Abuja, where they had converged to make their grievances known. The renewed agitation of the families followed footage released on social media showing the terrorists beating their captives.
Sister, my elder sister, and her 2 years daughter. The 2 year daughter became she completed the 2 years inside the forest.
Okay, can you tell me the name of your sister and her age and her daughter?
My sister's name is Hafsat Abdullahi. The daughter is Baby Islam, and she's 41 years old.
What happened when she left home?
She came for our younger sister's wedding here in Abuja because she is married and stays in Kaduna with her husband and 6 kids, plus this one 7. So she came for the wedding and she was going back on 28th, and me, I was in the hospital self because I was pregnant. Then I was in the hospital. She now said okay, she will stay. And when she now left, we were calling her. I want to come and see me before going. she said, let her go first. She will talk to me. She now went. Up till now, we've not seen her.
Okay.
Our mommy took her to the railway station. We called, they said she's not home. The next thing we hear is kidnapper, bandit, bandit this, bandit that. No, her number was not going to be again.
Minister of Transportation Maazo Sambo, who interacted with the victims' families, however, appealed to them to give him some time to study the situation.
This Monday would have been the first time that I was going to be receiving briefings about activities of the ministry and its agencies. Before I resumed, I had spoken to the permanent secretary to try and get in touch with the victims, with the families of the victims of the unfortunate train incident. The intention was, my first port of call will be to hold a dialogue with you guys. Okay?
Yes.
My first intention was to hold a dialogue with you people and empathize with you. Government is made up of individuals, like I, the permanent secretary, and so on and so forth. Each of us have families. We feel for the families of these unfortunate incidents.
Students of Federal Government College Kwali, Abuja, have been moved out of their hostels following bandits' attack at a nearby community. Daily Trust reports that parents were at the school on Monday morning to take their children from the school located at Sheda Village along Abuja-Lokoja Highway. Attempts to have access into the school was not successful as the school management could not be reached for comments. As at the time of filing this report, the FCT Police Command spokesperson DSP Ade Josephine was indisposed to comment. The Ogun State Governor, Dakwa Abiodun, has declared Tuesday as a work-free day in the state as the deadline for voter registration comes to a close. The governor said this in a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Kunle Somarin, in Abeokuta. He said the one-day public holiday is to provide a window for all workers in the state who have either lost their cards, not registered, or who might need to travel to their wards, local government areas and constituencies to perfect their permanent voters registration or transfer their cards when necessary to enable them participate in the next general elections. The governor urged all eligible voters to seize the opportunity of the holiday to go to their wards and constituencies to search for their registered voter cards, fill the claims and objections forms, and transfer the PVCs where necessary. Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Plateau State Chapter, Reverend Polycarp Lubo, wants people in the state to go about political activities and campaigns ahead of 2023 in a peaceful and violence-free manner. Lubo, who speaks to Trust TV in just the Plateau State capital, said elections is not a do-or-die affair, advising politicians to endeavor to imbibe the legacy of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who said his political ambition is not worth anyone's blood. The CAN chairman then urged INEC to properly investigate the recent video circulating on social media where permanent voter cards were seen dumped in a gutter in a part of the country.
Particularly Nigerians and in particular the Christians to come out and get their PVC and make sure they do the right thing by voting the right person. It is not a do or die affair. Leadership comes from God, but He uses the human beings to bring the leadership. That's why in Latin it says, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is equally the voice of God. So allow yourself to be used by God to bring the right person. There's no need to be fighting, there's no need to be killing, and don't allow yourself to be used by politicians so that they go and create chaos, create trouble, so that they will destroy the good atmosphere of the electoral processes. So I encourage Nigerians to make sure that they do the right thing by voting the right people. And then nobody, like Jonathan would say, nobody's life is worth this election, but people should come out and do the right thing by putting the right people in the right position.
Concerned members of the People's Democratic Party in Zamfara State are calling on the national leadership of the party to come save the PDP in the state from collapsing. The spokesman for the PDP concerned members, Nasiru Al-Hassan, claims that the state executive of the party lacks proper coordination that can lead the party to victory in 2023, even though it has a sellable governorship candidate in the state. The report.
The concerned members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Zamfara State want the national leadership of the party to rejig the state's executive in order to bring in more competent hands that can lead it to victory in the 2023 general election. A chieftain of the party in the state, Nasir Al-Hassan, claimed the state's leadership is in slumber and needs to wake up to strengthen the party's preparedness to face the incumbent governor in the 2023 general election, as the PDP stands a chance to win the governorship election with a landslide in the state. The group also claimed the state's party secretariat has been under lock and key instead of being open to attend to party issues.
Generally speaking, Zamfara State PDP is in slumber as it is now. The state SQ are not doing well when it comes to politics. Nobody is saying anything. This is, I think, the 6th or 5th of the resignation. And no even a communique to the press. No one issued anything. They are taking this as if nothing happened, which is a bad signal to party members. A card-carrying member to come and say he's going out of the party is a minus. Not to talk about a whole deputy state chairman of the party who happens to double up as the same zone with the gubernatorial candidate. So I'm calling on the National Working Committee of the PDP to come to our rescue. Maybe let them charge the state SQ to gear up. Let them charge them up so that they can do what people are expecting them to do.
While responding to the claims of the concerned PDP members, the state chairman of the party, Bala Mande, in a telephone chat said the allegation was a figment of the imagination of the accusers as the party has been working towards success in 2023. On the closure of the party secretariat in Gusau, the state capital, he alleged that the PDP secretariat was destroyed by some political thugs of the All Progressives Congress, APC, while the state government directed the Zamfara State Urban and Regional Planning Board to demolish its secretariat. He said the party had filed a suit challenging the action of the government in court. According to the Zamfara State PDP chairman, the party is waxing stronger and well positioned to win the 2023 general election in the state.
Trial census in Daura local government area of Katsina State is progressing steadily, but not without some hitches. National Commissioner for Northwest Zone, Bala Banye, is asking stakeholders for more synergy for the exercise to succeed. He made the call while monitoring the trial census in Daura on Thursday. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi reports.
Daura local government is one of the selected areas where trial census is taking place. Enumerators say they are receiving the much-needed support from residents of Daura and neighboring villages. Going by the records, the trial census is likely to produce good results at the end of the day. The enumerators particularly identify the introduction of new technology as the one factor that is contributing to the success of the process.
1952, 21, 19. Did you exhaust the battery yesterday?
No.
No?
At the rate of 30, then you plug the charge.
Okay.
However, one of the enumerators, Mrs. Tani, pointed out that there is an urgent need to beef up manpower to properly execute the exercise in Daura local government.
Did listing that did not require so much in 6 days, and right now we just started, and they've just been able to do just 23 buildings for 2 days. You know that we are begging that the EA should be split, because I've gone round, and in fact in one household it's not as if it's something they are talking about. You will see 42, there's one they cover 41 persons in one building.
Few days into the trial census in Daura local government, the permanent commissioner Balabani has come to monitor how the process is going. He agrees that there is need for more hands to man the exercise.
The purpose of the trial census is actually to see how the operations will be done, to see where corrections can be done, to see observations with regards to the personnel, with regards to the equipment, with regards to the respondents' behavior. Now we are witnesses that we have had a very good response from the population. No enumerator or official is complaining that they are not receiving the necessary cooperation from the population.
Census is a very critical component in planning for national development, but has in the past been compromised by politicians. All eyes are on this trial census, which is a precursor to the main exercise scheduled for March next year. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. National service with a sense of community development. Do stay with us.
That's great.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. We told you that relatives of abducted train passengers protest in Abuja as ISWAP terror video ignites protest in Kaduna. We also heard that bandits' attack in Abuja forces evacuation of students in community school. Moving to more stories, electricity workers on Sunday say they will join their solidarity protest of the Nigerian Labour Congress over the ongoing strike by Academic Staff Union of Universities. Power sector workers under the aegis of National Union of Electricity Employees made their position known in a letter issued by the General Secretary Joe Ajero to the Vice Presidents of State and Administrative Councils Chapter Secretaries of the Union. The directive enjoined all members of the union to massively mobilize and actively participate in the solidarity protest. Nigeria's power sector recently witnessed a grid collapse that led to the crash of power generation from over 3,900 megawatts to 3 megawatts, a development that caused blackouts across the country. The Provost, Federal Technical College of Education, Gombe State, Ali Adamu, has called on the National Assembly to expedite action on the bill seeking to upgrade the institution to Federal University of Technology Education, Gombe. The Provost, who made the call in an interview with newsmen over the weekend, pointing out that upgrading the college will enhance its academic standards. Ibrahim Ismail completes the story.
The bill for the establishment of the Federal University of Technology Education Gombe has passed second reading at the National Assembly. The Provost of the Federal College of Education Technical Gombe, Dr. Ali Adamu, is positive that if the process is given accelerated hearing, the educational sector and the state and the country would be better off.
Second reading, yes, we are planning to make this place to become Federal University of Technical Education. Yeah, that's the effort we are making. Because as it is, even in Nigeria, we have state technical university, but we don't have any Federal University of Technical Education. We have University of Federal University of Technology. So honestly, the bill has already passed second reading, and I'm optimistic it may likely receive the light of the day, inshallah.
From the ongoing strike by members of the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, the Provost said the industrial action will be called off soon.
I'm sure in the next, next week, I think on 2nd, we are resuming the sitting on 2nd August. But I'm sure, I'm optimistic, I have no doubt in mind that we are going to resolve by God's grace.
The Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union had embarked on industrial action in June, which was extended by 3 weeks to protest government's inability to meet their demands, which among other things include revitalization funds. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
A 24-year-old corps member serving in Gombe State, Echefula Wisdom, has constructed a kiosk to shelter police traffic wardens on duty. Wisdom, a graduate of law from Rivers State University, said he constructed the kiosk after observing a traffic warden walking without shelter on hot afternoons at a junction in Gombe metropolis. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 24-year-old, who highlighted some of the challenges in the course of the project, said he was worried by the condition of traffic wardens working under the scorching sun.
Another day when I was going to work, I also noticed the female wardens controlling traffic under the rain. Then a few months back, I also noticed that one of the traffic wardens at Tunfre roundabout was almost hit by a motorcycle. And I said to myself, if I don't do anything, we could possibly hear that one of the traffic wardens has been injured by probably a road accident or whatever thing that doesn't protect them. That's it happened. You know, when you do welding work, the fire sparks will also touch you. You have to go through such sacrifice as well. We also had to go through the sacrifice of funding. Sometimes the money was not there.
A traffic warden spoke on the significance of the traffic kiosk to their work.
It's a very big donation to us because we that used to stand on the road, we know what we are facing. More especially this time around that we are facing August. We cannot control properly if the rain is dropping. So with this, at least we will discharge our duty diligently.
The Nigeria Police and the National Youth Service Corps are inspired by the corps members' spirit of community service.
For a copper, Wisdom, to have been fit to construct this type of things is a marvelous and welcome idea. I want to say it particularly on behalf of the Inspector of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, and the officers and men of the Gombe State Command in particular. We are immensely grateful to a young person like this to have deemed it fit to this type of things to Nigerian police.
Wisdom has deemed it fit to see what he can do for the community of Gombe. And the only thing he can do is to give this traffic boot to the Nigerian police, which is a great stride in nation building.
The traffic kiosk has been stationed at Tunfre Junction along Gombe-Bauchi Road. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Sunday confirmed 16 new positive cases of monkeypox in 12 states. The center said from January 1 to July 17, 2022, there have been 338 suspected cases and 117 confirmed cases, with 3 deaths recorded in Delta, Lagos, and Ondo states. Adding that since the reemergence of the disease in September up to July 17, 2022, 850 suspected cases have been reported from 35 states. According to the World Health Organization data, there have been 16,016 monkeypox cases, of which 4,132 were recorded in the past week, with 5 deaths. Tongues are still wagging on the shocking incident of a young lady, Ife, that set her husband, Bolu Bamidele, ablaze in Oshogbo and committed suicide thereafter. Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade reports that the families of the couple have been thrown into mourning while rumored money ritual as root of the bazaar went viral. This report is presented from our studios.
Ife was living comfortably at Bolu's house at Koka community in Oshogbo with a car that her husband bought for her. July 14th was Ife's birthday. Her husband, Bolu, a Cairo-based businessman, traveled to Nigeria for Ife's birthday celebration. After the birthday party at Bolu's mother's house, the couple returned to their own house at Koka community. According to reports, Bolu was sleeping when Ife opened his phone and read his WhatsApp messages. She saw a message suggesting that Bolu had a child from another woman while she was yet to have a child for him. Ife called her mother-in-law, Abike Bamidele, and told her that she found something on Bolu's phone and that both of them would die.
When Ife called me on that day, say he has already seen something on Bolu's phone. That grandma, come and see something. I told you, say, Bolu, I have a girlfriend at the hotel.
Immediately she got the call, Bolu's mother ran to the house to meet Ife, but it was too late. She said Ife set her son ablaze after locking him up in the house and ran away. Bolu was confirmed dead at the University College Hospital, Ibadan.
Yes, on getting to Bolu's house, we met Bolu's friend car. So I want to ask them to, what is happening? But yeah, let us go to this place. On getting to Bolu, very near to Bolu's house, I saw light, fire, heavy fire. As I get down, now people say, yeah, go. Your son is now taken to, rushing to Osun Central Hospital. Getting to Osun Central Hospital, they should have already transfer him to Lautech. On getting to Lautech, they say we should now go to University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital. So all his friends followed her to that Ibadan.
After Bolu's burial, an angry mob went to the house of Ife's parents and vandalized it, rendering the family homeless. Ife eventually called one of Bolu's brother and announced that she ate poison and explained that Bolu did not use her womb for ritual as rumored.
Away from Nigeria, Draupadi Murmu has been sworn in as India's president, making her the first person from one of the country's marginalized tribal communities to serve as head of state. The former school teacher and state governor was elected to the largely ceremonial position last week with 64% of the votes by members of India's parliament and state assemblies. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.